Hello, Ian.
Oh, we're back. Whew. Another hot day. Jamie mentioned she liked the look of me with a different color shirt on. I was wearing a gray shirt for Mother's Day.
Ooh.
I told her it was my gray period. You could see. I'm fully gray. I'm fully gray for spring. It's my festive color. I usually only wear black, but hey, change of pace sometimes. We are back, and the truck does fit through the door. We figured out that we can put the rotors and the lower control arms right on those wheel dollies, and it just clears the lights. So that's good news. That's how I'm able to
Sweet.
double time on my projects, because this is such a massive unit. I got chains at each end. We just hook up the truck and whoosh, in and out, in and out. On our last episode, Alan and I, we got this front balance, whatever, grill, shell thing, fenders, etc., leveled and attached temporarily. Both of us don't like this fender that's smashed and weird, so we're going to address that. We're on the hunt for some special fenders that I saw at my buddy's shop. We'll see if we can work that out. And then also, getting the hood in place, it got me to thinking, you know, with the engine not even being anywhere near where this hood would access something, maybe we don't need the hood to hinge at all. I mean, look at these hinges, Jamie.
Wow.
That is some straight up gate hardware. So when we took the truck from the yard, these were just kind of halfway there, and I ended up just cutting them off to get the hood off because I knew we were not going to reuse them. They got these cool little latches though, and those are neat, but like, do we really need all this business that the person created? I think not. Because look, if you open the hood, like what are you getting at? That was something I thought was super interesting from the start. The radiator was set down. They cut this notch, and they had a radiator that was more of a vertical shape than a horizontal radiator that you might think you'd see in such a wide truck. But look, there's almost no reason to have a functioning hood on this, except to maybe get to the radiator cap, right? I was thinking, I'm going to remove this entire space here. I'm going to get rid of this big bulge coming into the cab interior and then weld the hood to the body. It's just going to be a big bubble nose body. Fenders are attached. Hood is in one piece. There is no hood actually. It's just the body rounds out. And when you open the doors, it's secured, it's lockable. You got all that room from inside. You can clearly see there's a lot of business in there, impeding on our interior space. And we don't really need it. Haunted house moment. And check this out. I just noticed this. Let's step around to the other side. This is cool. Talk about customizing. I didn't notice it before, but I'd like you to visit the speedometer and notice. Look at the miles per hour range, hand painted on that. They are guesstimating this baby's got at least 90 miles per hour in it. I think that was done with nail polish sometime in the 1960s.
That's so awesome.
Right? I was like, check that out. That is custom.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, this thing is handmade. Very interesting.
I've never seen that before.
I actually did a couple things back in the day because I learned, you could take the glass off the speedometer. I remember in VW Trends magazine, I think, or Hot VWs, it was like a surf-themed vehicle, and the gauges, they had like a little sunset or beach scene through all the gauges. So there was no numbers. It just said like oil with a thermometer, it just said oil with a little, arrow. but it was like a beach scene through the gauges. It was so rad.
That might be something we
Yeah.
could do in the future.
So it's like you had your arrangement of gauges across the dash, and when you look through it, it was just like it was like little frames, little picture frames with, yeah.
That's
super
cool. I never even thought about like being able to modify something like that.
Everything relates, right? So that being said, why couldn't we just take this out and then whatever's going on with the radiator here later, because I do want to have it right up front with probably 2 of the biggest, most powerful electric fans I can find. You can just have a little window in the floor of the truck, right? You can access the radiator cap right there. It's not like you're filling gasoline inside the cab, it's just water or antifreeze. So yeah, it'll just give a lot more room. We'll take this big bulge out. You got this vent, which I love, but it's kind of bound up. So I was thinking also with that, I'm going to take the vent out temporarily because I'm probably going to move it back. Looking at the arrangement of the hood and the body, when it was built, it was like really forward on the way that it was arranged with the headlights. And I think I want to tuck that back a little. You know, we don't need this flange for seal, for weather strip, or anything like that. So I think I'm going to cut back into the sheet metal and just take this whole piece out and then take the vent and set it back a little bit through here. So, I mean, it might work.
It's a journey. It's not a race.
But either way, you see, it's just a lot of complicated action going on here. I don't see any benefit in it. So right now, I'm going to get out the power tools and get medieval on this.
What you got there?
For some reason, we're getting mail now. We got a P.O. box, and I'm not soliciting for anything, but 2 different people sent me these carbide teeth blades. Mr. Roussel Barreto, Rochester, New York. Come on down.
Thank you.
This is your moment to shine. Thanks. It's got carbide teeth. One thing I'm going to say about both of these offerings, I don't know if you folks know each other, but Raphael from Rochester, New York, and I don't even know how to say this name, Kapil. Kapil? Thanks for the Sawzall blade. Appreciate that. We're going to try these out. I've seen them on the shelf or, hanging up. I've never used them, so I wonder. I always use the standard style, which is typically you can get, different, they call it TPI, that's teeth per inch. So this one is 18 teeth per inch. See how fine that is? I love these because they're very thin and they don't really chow on the sheet metal. Like if you get into the sheet metal with a really coarse blade, it's like really like bang, bang, bang. And I found that a coarser tooth blade like this, it's appropriate for a thicker steel. So if you compare the teeth, see? But I'm down to try out the carbide tip. I mean, what the heck? I understand that these work really good on thicker walled material.
What's over there?
This.
Oh, I thought you were like looking over my shoulder because like a snake was coming in the shop.
Fortunately, the stakes are outside. So see how thick this is? That's like at least 3/16 of an inch. So this carbide tooth thing would do great cutting this. But I'm interested to see. I'm going to try it out on sheet metal and see how it goes. This will be a real trial by fire. Otherwise, I'm going to resort to this tried, true, tested, a lot of different brand names. I'm not here to endorse any, but the 18 tooth per inch. It's a good one. All right, let's get into this. There's a little pan here with a drain. So I'm assuming when you try to ford a river or get into some heavy hurricane weather, this thing's going to get a lot of water in it and comes right out the bottom. Let's take it off. See what's going on in here.
Where did it go?
There it is, right where I left it.
Oops.
See what's going on in here. Mummies, mouse. Come on. Surprised these aren't rusted shut.
Suspense.
And behind door number 3.
Oh my god.
Nothing.
It's like a, what was that Gerald show? What was that show called?
Geraldo, when he went into
Geraldo.
the gangsters sealed vault.
And it was like a big thing on primetime, and everyone was tuned in, and then there was nothing.
I was tuned in.
I was
only
too.
Only us elderlies will remember the suspense.
If anybody remembers, comment, because I remember I was like a little kid.
It was Al Capone's vault, right?
Yeah, and there was nothing in there.
Curses.
Nothing.
It's the story of so many great explorers. All right, so there's some business here holding a big metal box that you may have seen in the other inside image. That's the heater. So the heat, you might not know this, Jamie.
Probably not.
When you have heat in your car,
Mm-hmm.
this is not talking about electric cars. This is talking about cars with actual internal combustion engines and some other things. The water, the antifreeze water, whatever mixture, gets hot from keeping the engine temperature in control. It goes into the car. That's where the heat comes from. So that's what these 2 tubes are. The water comes out of the engine, goes into the cab of the vehicle, and there's a fan that blows that heat.
That blows the hot air,
Yes.
the hot off the water.
Yes.
And then the water just keeps on circulating?
Until you turn the switch off.
Oh, wow.
That's why sometimes if you're overheating in the summer, you could turn on the heater and help the temperature recover.
Our friend Lara FM,
Mm-hmm.
that's how she keeps her Dodge van running.
Mm-hmm. True stories. All right, that was really exciting. We took off 8 screws. Let's get into it.
Hi, Blue.
All right. So, during that brief work stoppage, I did some stuff. I just took off the hardware that holds that heater core in that I mentioned. I'm just going to cut all this business off because it won't go through with these hoses attached. So we're going to put on our PPE, get to cutting. Just going to hack these off because we don't need them. And from the inside, we will reveal this very cool unit. Look at this. It's an antique 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slice of bread toaster. Yes.
Wow.
Super cool.
That is cool.
So the hot water goes in that, and then the fan blows the air over it. It's a heater. There's 2 structures in the cab. One of them lands right about here on the inside, and then you have this sheet metal stamping. I'm just going to do a little exploratory surgery, and that long saw blade is going to work out great because I'm going to have to reach in and try to liberate this firewall. So I'm just going to, first I'll cut this off, and we're going to go through. We're going to cut the entire front of this baby right off. This is going to spark, so I'm going to be under here. It's coming right at you. All right. I'm going to make some preliminary cuts around this vent through the sheet metal. I'm sure there's some other stuff holding this together. I'm imagining there's a lever in there. There's just so much haunted house action. I'm not really trying it just yet inside. Oh, something's loosening up. Let's explore a little more. Did you notice that little shift?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what, just like with the chassis. Every time you cut something apart, get ready, 'cause there's going to be that little tension release. All right, we're getting somewhere. So this is the inner structure I was mentioning. See how this shape comes in here? We're gonna have to, it's double walled. So you have the outer skin and then this inner one, which makes it very strong. But I'm gonna run that long Sawzall blade, reciprocating saw blade, the carbide tooth blade, through it and see what happens. The default term has become the Sawzall, but this is actually not a Sawzall, but it does the same thing.
Those things are a beast.
Yeah.
I'm just following you around the shop.
It's okay. I
Don't mind me.
I don't feel nervous. Take this little plastic tab out of this and chuck it in the machine. All right, let's see how this puppy performs. So I mentioned my experience with these is that they hang up a lot. So let's discover together as a community, a supportive, well-speaking community that doesn't bring up the bad side of things like the crooked headlight. Malfunction, must charge battery. As I was saying, a supportive community that explores things together. I got 2 words. Holy Krakatoa.
That was like butter.
I've never seen anything like this.
That was wild.
Here I am trying to teach a lesson. Wow, game changer. I think I just found my next favorite thing.
It was like butter watching it.
Just brutal. The carnage. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Could be a deal breaker. Did the tool break, or was there simply a malfunction? That worked good. I'm surprised. Let's do it again.
That was fun to watch.
Wow. Now we know the carbide tip blade appears to be superior. That was something. A lot of stress. You hear the tool struggling. Remember that big collision that happened. There's a lot of stress in the sheet metal. It's like really tense.
Oof.
Let's do it again. Prepare for Diablo, the blade of doom. I mean, take my money. Wow. All right. Let's Diablo through this. That hang up is some of the internal bits I was mentioning. Come from this side. But notice how it does jump so much. That's just the coarser tooth. This with a fine tooth would be like next level. All right, got a hole in the truck. Something's still holding that on. We're gonna have to explore some more. So check that out. When I was using the foot of the saw, look at those teeth. They popped right off. I mean, I don't know what they cost, but a couple cuts. The other teeth don't fall off the other blades. All right. This side. But, I mean, the cut is super good. Peer in. Together. What's going on? So, what I was saying is the flat floor of the truck is going to come right up to here now. So I'm just taking this angled area away so we can. I'm going to build an entirely new floor. I mean, this thing has got different sections bolted together, etc., and I want it to be smooth and clean. I'm just really in a demo mode, demolishing all this. think that's the story for that battery. And that bleed. Both are running down. Aha! Let me get the broom. Take a look at what's going on here. Excuse me while I sweep the floor. Well, our future is wide open, I'd say. Let's see. Oh, I see. This is attached by a couple little brackets right here. I think Diablo might still have a little bit of go. Let's try to cut that out.
Is that what those are called? Big Diablos?
Yeah, that's the name brand.
Dang. Let me get it sliced through it like nobody's business.
I recommend it. I had no idea. All right, so let's take this out. Winner!
Dang.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that. That's a cool feature. All right, look at all this good stuff under here. Got a radio, got some gauges, got some wires. I'm not gonna need none of that. It slices, it dices, does all the things. Whew. Well, I think the rage of the storm hath passed. Let's all take a breath. All right. See, in the other video, you remember all that stress Alan and I were having trying to get these dimples to align. You're working right through that issue. Yeah, I like this plan. Now, if you stand back, Jamie, I will discuss the issue we were having. So see when the latches are on the hood?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's way out here. See how
Yeah.
much forward it is?
Yeah.
It's shelved over. And I was thinking, we don't need that. I'd like to make it a little bit more, if not perfectly vertical, then tilting back the opposite way. So it's kind of where my head was at in making these next cuts. See, something like that. Takes it back quite a bit. It's pretty darn even to me too, taking back that much. So it's about a quarter inch too much on this side. We stay right in there. So first guess cut. Let's chow into that. Take off this emblem because that's cool. We don't want to lose that. There's no intention taking the international-ness out of it. It's just going to be super weird. Someone mentioned mounting a big locomotive light on the center top of it, and I thought that was a cool idea. You never know. All right, let's chop it down. Now I don't need to cut the interior structure because the hood up or the nose actually bulges out, so I'll just have to cut the outside skin now. All right, let's take a look at that. Yeah, now it's starting to fall in. Grab that piece of tie wire and reset this.
So I have a question.
The answer is yes.
So looking for new fenders, will you put new headlights in the fenders? Or are we gonna, like, what do you plan on doing with that? I don't really understand.
That makes two of us.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
It is a work in progress. You cannot get into the artist's mind without following the entire experience. How dare you even presume what I'm about to do next? So this is just a rough, and I say rough like R-U-F-F, fit up, super rough. But the idea here is now I have full access into the inside and underneath without crawling around in all that filth you just witnessed. So, between next time and now, I'm going to get out the rest of that bent sheet metal. I'm going to clear the majority of whatever wires, etc. I don't need that radio in there. And I think next time, probably going to establish like a preliminary radiator mount. I have a big radiator from a Lincoln Town Car. I think that would cool this pretty good. And like the whole thing comes together as a whole. It's like there's so many loose ends. Like you saw, the cab is still teetering on that temporary mount. The nose is tacked on. Now the hood is kind of mocked in place. The engine is just sitting there. It's like all these ideas are just being put in place for the moment. I like, as so many other people like, to just see a task come to completion, right? Nice and tidy. That's not the real world. This is the real world. Look at this. It's getting a little bit closer each time. You know what Jamie's mom's favorite statement is?
Hold on, let me say it.
All lippets.
Little by little.
Little by little. Little jewel. It all adds up. Another step.
My Italian mama. Sage words.
Look at this. Saving all the badges. This is the S160s series. Special edition. Signing off for this episode.